So, first off, I know I'm a few days late to this, but The Walking Dead has returned to our screens with Season 8. And I have some thoughts on it. I've seen the premiere now. I have a few thoughts, some positive, some negative. It's actually quite an interesting episode on the whole, I'd say. So, let's get straight into discussing it. This is Season 8, Episode 1, Mercy. I really did enjoy Rick's speech at the start of the episode where he stood on top of all of the different colonies who have joined together, which I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I really liked how Rick is just this true leader, commanding all of them, bringing these all different communities with different views together against one united force, which is of course Negan and the Saviors. It was a really great scene. Now, the flash forward, dream sequences, old man Rick stuff, I found a bit jarring in this episode. They just kind of pop in and out, just very randomly throughout the episode. It's quite sporadic as well, and it's just, I found it a bit odd, a bit off-putting. I mean, it is definitely exciting to see what these could mean, and is this the future, or is it a dream? It was just a bit weird. The biggest positive I can probably give this episode is something that The Walking Dead has lacked, especially in the bore fest that was Season 7, and that is this episode actually had a pretty good pace. It moved along at a pretty good pace. It was, it was snappy, it was quite fun, it had time for character and it had time for action, and that's exactly what The Walking Dead should be, a perfect blend of both. I really enjoyed the scene where we see all the combinations of all the camps, all bonding and joining together, which is of course we see Alexandria, we see the Kingdom, and we see the Hilltop, who have all joined together, and seeing them all bonding. And there's a really nice scene where one person says to another, "I have your back," and there's like, "Oh, we just met," and then they say, "We've all just met." It's a really good scene. I really liked it, really enjoyed it. Then the big action scene happens where they all storm the Saviors' base, and this is very frustrating. Rick points out in his speech that the only person who needs to die is Negan. So why, explain to me, why when he is in the open and everybody has guns on him does nobody take a shot? It was so annoying, and it's just frustrating, really annoying. However, I can't mention Negan and then not mention Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance. He is, again, top of his game here, as he is every single episode you see him in The Walking Dead. He is just so good. He clearly loves and revels in this character, and he has another few good lines as always, so very entertaining presence as always. Another frustrating part about this action scene is that everybody in the crew is just wasting bullets. They're not even shooting at anybody, they're shooting at glass and windows. And I get that they're trying to shoot inside the building, but they can't see it. So it's wasting bullets, which are supposed to be sparse in this, Walking Dead universe. And they just can't aim. They have the aiming of a stormtrooper. So yeah, that final action scene was cool, but kind of pointless. It just felt very detracted, especially when we had such a big build up with the speech and all the different leaders coming together in front of their respective crews, and then we get there and nothing really happens of substance, and it just felt like a bit of a waste of time. However, I have to commend the action surrounding the characters of Tara, Morgan, Carol, and Daryl. Those action scenes were very cool. They were definitely a bit more suspenseful, a bit more stealthy. That was really fun. So yeah, that action scene was definitely better than the big one that was actually advertised. But yeah, I think the action overall here was done pretty well, even if one of the scenes felt completely pointless. On the whole, though, I really did enjoy this episode of The Walking Dead. I think it's a good start to Season 8. I think it's a promising start. Season 7 was, in my opinion, the worst season of The Walking Dead. I thought it was so bad, so boring, nothing happened in it. Whereas here, this actually seems like it's going to have a lot more going for it, and it definitely seems to be a lot more entertaining, just based on this one episode. I found this one episode more entertaining than the entire Season 7, so that's got to say something.